seed to bloom, it has to be in the dark soil.
Fucking bully. Oh, man. You've been with us, and see you next Monday. All right, here we go. We are live. Hello, Ursha already in chat saying hi. How you doing? The wifey. How you doing? All right, another Monday, and it's time for Night Ignition podcast. Today's topic is equality, and it's gonna be me and Ula and you guys, right? You can
Always.
chat, you can comment. So Ula did the amazing story. You can go check it on Instagram, but check it fast. She caught me totally unprepared. I was doing something, then I'm showing things that I did not want to go public, but Ula said, we are equal. You're getting a banger.
I made
Next
another
time
story.
I will be responsible about my communication whenever I'm there with Ula, and I don't know what she's actually doing. So yeah, equality. Let's look into it, right? Equality is about ensuring that every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of their lives and talents. So, all right, Ula and everybody is listening, sharing the chat. What is equality for you? When you think about equality, what pops to your mind?
I believe that was a very good description. One thing that pops into my mind is definitely that nowadays we can hear a lot of reasons why people can't be equal and why they cannot achieve this and that and do this and that. And but what I believe is that if you want something and you really want it, you will always find a way. If you rather do something else, you will get an excuse. You will find an excuse. So yeah, I think we create our own equality.
All right, got it. So we create our own equality, right? So it is however we see it, and then we have a general definition. Yeah, for me, what pops into my mind immediately is, all right, men and women, equality between men and women. But then reading this definition, it kind of goes like, for every human being, right? Everybody should have the possibility or an opportunity to make the most of their lives and talents. And all right, so we cannot actually speak for the third world, because we didn't we weren't born there, so we can only imagine how it is for them. But we can speak from where we come from, and this part of the world, which is Slovenia, and then Europe, or Western countries, first world, however you want to call it. But let's look one thing before that, right? What is the nature of equality? Like why did we came up with this equality?
Well, I believe because there was an equality. Is that the word? Yeah.
That.
Yeah. And then we created that. I don't know. I mean, I believe that when something wasn't fair for some parts of human race, we created equality.
But
I don't know.
But
that's just my guess.
we're discovering, right? We don't actually know the truth. can only like see. So yeah, I think equality was always there, but then people did what people do, start exploiting each other, or start putting other down, and then some people become more worthy, or in some way better than the others, or more important than the others, and that immediately it's not there is no equality anymore. uh, so yeah, I would say then equality came up so that we remind that, hey, we're all people, we should be equal in this, having the opportunities to live our max potential, and to live the max on our talent. So yeah, Ursha also shared what she hears for equality is same opportunities for everyone. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, as you said, equality was always there. How I started seeing things is everything is already existing, is there somewhere in the space, however you want to call it. Nothing is made or destroyed, we just discover it. So at the time that we raise our, I don't know, awareness, or we need something or whatever, we discover something that's actually already there.
Yeah, I totally agree. And all right, let's look it forward, right? So living the life as a woman, which is you are not equal to men. Probably you have some examples of that, but like what is your experiences with equality or inequality?
Well, it's definitely out there in the world. My experiences are, if I start from sport perspective, because I was in martial arts, for me to get the respect in the gym, was I had to be better, like a lot better than guys, than men, to earn their respect. So I had to train so much more. I had to really put all in, and but I wasn't complaining about it. I knew that is how it is, and okay, this is what I have. What can I do with it? How can I make my own equality, for myself, in my life, in my world? So at some point I started to feel completely equal, and even today when I go to the gym, I know, fighting or kickboxing, doing jiu-jitsu, whatever, I feel completely equal to them. Maybe I'm not that strong, but I managed to develop other skills, or I don't know, explosiveness or better technique or whatever. So I worked for my quality. That's one thing, and the other thing is work.
All right, but
So
let me stop
yeah,
you there, right?
sure.
So definition said every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of their lives and talent. So would you say that you in the gym didn't have the opportunity to make the most out of, that area of your life and talent for that? Or so I want to know if actually inequality happened or something else happened.
No, what I'm trying to say is that there would be inequality, not in sense what are my options, but okay. So for most of the women, when they go to fighting world, they are treated differently than men. So they are not seen as someone who can succeed in that. It's very rare,
so it's like
right?
you won't get the best coach in the gym.
Yeah, no, or you're not gonna get the attention or the
Oh.
time from the coach, right?
Oh,
So for me, how I saw that it was that I have to work harder, which was inequality probably, but still with my hard work and dedication, I got what I wanted. So for me, that was gained equality.
yeah, okay, I was just looking into it, right? Because one thing is you're being disrespected or looking down on, and another thing is inequality, or because I get that you didn't have the same opportunity to make the most of your career because the coach didn't look at you. So it means like, you didn't know if you're doing the things right because he corrected you way less than the guys, or give you the necessary critique on how you're doing. And inside of that, you work hard and improve yourself, so that in the end he gave you the attention and say, all right, she's worth it. And okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And why do you think is that? Like, let's look at that. Why do you think is that?
Well, first of all, that is a men's sport, right? Second of all, I wouldn't go into that why, but most of the women, maybe because we are raised that way, right? To be gentle, and we can cry and men cannot cry, and you need to be tough, guys, you need to be tough, and women can be soft, and we don't need to like push that hard, like our physical limits. I think that's why. Because we are seen as we are already seen as someone who's not gonna push that hard, who's not gonna make the effort and succeed at that kind of sport.
Yeah, that was my thought as well, right? So the coach was looking like, all right, if I devote my time and energy to the people in the group, it's gonna be on the guys, because it's more likely they will stay here and more likely they will make something out of them.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's not that many women or girls come, but which they come, they usually quit fast, which is also because they don't get the attention. It's like, right?
Yeah, it's.
But yeah, it goes like that. I think in many cases in men's world, it's like, all right, if she came here, she has to prove it that she's worth it. So we will give her a hard time, and if she beats that, then she's like one of us, so to speak. Which basically it is inequality, because guys don't get this. It's just automatically how to say, expected that guys will work hard, they will push, they won't be pussies, so to speak, softies. They will do it, even though we know that that's not the truth, right? Have among guys, how many guys would keep on going to the gym and not getting it, paying the coach and not getting the attention, right? They think they deserve it. It's like, how many guys would keep on going, right? And it's also not that many. I think here we are equal in numbers, I would say, right? I would even assume more girls are pushing harder than the guys.
Yeah, because we have to.
Yeah, and we are much softer in those spaces, if you ask me. If guys don't get the attention, I think, how I see it, just quit. All right, not the place for me. I'll do something else. So all right, cool. And what about work?
We can go to personal training. So I was actually working in Arabian Gulf, and I was working in a small private gym that was VIP, and it was me and my colleague was a guy who I would say had less experience as me, but he was man. So he automatically got a better offer. It wasn't like directly, okay, you're gonna get paid more for the same work, it was he got a higher position, although he was doing the same things as I was doing. And yeah, he got like, I don't know, 20% more. But again, I found a way how to earn more than him. Just sometimes you just have to be smart and don't look at things as problems. They just are there. They're not good or bad. They are, and what can I do with it? And how can I make it, in like good for me? Maybe even upgrade it to something better than it could be if I was a guy. So yeah, that's how I experienced that.
Right, so there are no problems, only challenges.
Yeah, that's how I approach my life. Yeah, at least I'm trying.
Yeah, all right. And as I know you, you have a power girl, what power lady, power girl, power mommy stuff, the power brand, and in which you are mostly concentrated on women. And what is fueling that? It's like exactly this inequality or something else?
Actually, it's a funny story. I mean, it's not that much. It wasn't that much funny. Now it can be. I had a very hard time with approaching women or even being friends with them, which came from my childhood because I didn't have a relationship with my mom. So I keep on pushing all the women aside. And then one day when I was 21, I started working on myself and I realized that, and I didn't want that. I want that to change. And I knew that I have to do something. Not like just thinking of it or reading things, but I actually have to go in action, right, on the field. And then I started free training for women. It was so bad. I mean, it was bad for me. It was so hardcore, like, just breathe, everything's okay. Like, for me, it was, oh my God, drama from women, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, I did that. I did that for a few months. And I tried very hard. And I got a group of, I think, almost 50 women training with me. And then I told them, come on, it's gonna get cold. We have to go in the gym if we want to train. So now you will have to pay. And like more than 50% of them went with me. And that's how we started Girl Power project. That was the first one, the sport one. And then I was in that fitness industry for a long time, and Girl Power was all about Girl Power. But I also realized, because one day you said to me, isn't it like, aren't you ready to upgrade from girl to a lady, to a woman? And I started thinking like, okay, yeah, I'm really hiding behind that girly thing. I was successful and everything, but I didn't want to grow up. I didn't want to take my feminine part. So I worked with women, which was a big plus, right? But I didn't like take it for myself. And then I started with Shakti Circle, and I did the forum and all those stuff. And step by step, I accepted my woman power, not girly part. And yeah, that's how Power Lady was born. And then I met your beautiful wife, and I saw that she's really into helping mothers to be, or young mothers. And we were like, okay, let's create something powerful for moms, right? And that's how Power Mommy was created. So yeah, that's the story.
All right. Okay, cool. And it's causing basically what you're up to, right? There are no problems, there are challenges, and inequality is one of them. It's not the one, but it's just a circumstance, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah.
So what we are offering to women is basically, okay, this is the situation. What can we do or you do? How can we support you basically to overcome it or to transform it in a way that is going to serve you?
Yeah.
Because there are always options, but when we concentrate on the problem, so we take something as bad, yeah, there is inequality, there are problems, and more we focus on that, more of that comes back into our lives. So we're trying to somehow transform that thinking at first, and then the actions.
Yeah, it's amazing what you're saying inside of right. So equality, it is out. Inequality, it is out there, and it's a problem. And when you approach it as a problem, it's a good excuse, and then you don't do anything, and you can play a victim mode, and look, it's inequality out there. I don't have the same opportunities, chances as men, so it's their fault that I'm not happy in life. call it that way, right? I mean, whatever. Whenever you make something a problem, in this case inequality, it's like, all right, I'm a victim, I can do anything about it. It's so great what you're saying, right? That if you look at it as a challenge and look at how then you can transform it into serving you, or how you can approach it like to overcome it, then it's a whole new world opens up, right? And you can see that basically inside of that inequality doesn't even exist. It's equality. You have the same chances. You can leave your talent or right, develop it. It's just, it's not maybe at the place that you wanted to, or maybe you need to work harder, but you're just like, it's just how life is.
Yeah, and you have to work harder comparing to who or to what, right?
Yeah, but
if you stop comparing yourself to everyone else, it's just you, and then you work hard, or you work hard and enjoy it, right? It's how you make it what you pick, basically.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm very curious, because equality, everybody is like connected to women, right? Like, oh, it's about them, right? But I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of inequality for men too, but we don't talk about it much. So can you share with me?
Yeah, I'm looking at what area would that be. So I could say definitely in school there is, I would say, inequality when you come, who are teacher more in favor of, right? Usually girls are the good ones, the ones that are listening, not making trouble. So the boys are the ones who are, we need to take care of them. Usually it's like that. Even if you look the percentage, how many boys, men are going to student council in school, or how many women, it's like, we all know, right? So I could say there you have Insta label on. All right, he's a boy, he will probably be more acting out, so we need to treat him a little bit differently, right? And sometimes you needed to prove more, but I would say the most inequality where it happens is like, I have a profession of how to say, it's not a nurse, it's a caretaker, right? It's a little in space of world of medicine, of world of health, the doctors, stuff like that. You have doctor, a nurse, and there are caretakers. More or less they're working in nursing homes, not so much in hospitals or how you say, healthcare institutions. So inside of that there are more or less women, right? It's a women's world. So guys are like very rare. So I would say among how inequality shows there is So maybe not that much in that space, right? They're happy when a man comes in, and you know, because you know there are some heavy loads, so to speak, to be taken care of, like a lot of, you need to do, you know, whole wheels of diapers, which is not easy to move. Then you have some elders who are, you know, heavyweights, and it's not easy to you know, change a diaper for that kind of person. So we come in handy. But if I look outside the world, right, like how world perceives that, it's like it. I wouldn't say that when I was growing up that was so. Maybe now it's coming more and more, but it's like it's not the man's job, right? It's not the man's job to change diaper, right? It's just like you should be a car mechanic or stuff like that. So people might look down onto you. I never felt it. Somebody is looking down on me, or that I don't have the same chances to succeed inside of that, because I wasn't very long in there. So I don't know how it is if you want to become a head nurse or head, you know, rank up. If they're like, no, you know, it's mostly ladies, so men should not be that. The head nurse should be a woman. So I don't know. I was training dancing, and in that world, look, the inequality is like, you know, women needs to pay more for dresses, and they look much prettier in the dresses than the guys. We just put that black on, and we need to look good, right? I would say, you know. So everybody's paying much more attention to girls. So, but never really. I did get it. Inequality when it comes to developing as a dancer. Coaches were saying, you know, my dance partner is developing really good, when, you know, I knew the reality is like, you know, I was there or even better, but nobody ever give me any compliment. Maybe that's my being or how I was acting, and they were like, he is already too much of ego or whatever, we should not give it. Or maybe they just didn't see it, but it was like that it was more attention to girls than to guys. Maybe because, you know, there are also a lot of women dance teachers, and they know how it is with girls. They're more fragile, more in a way of how they deal with being criticized, you know, because when you are training you get criticized all the time, but those are good critics, right? And sometimes it might be too much. You really worked like 3, 4, 5 hours to build some technique, and you come to the coach and say, hey, look what I did, you know, trying to be proud, I did it, and then the coach goes like, nope, it's not good again. And inside of that,
yeah, you said they were, or they are more fragile, but why do you think is that?
I don't know. They just start crying faster. I would say that is the only measurement. Right? We guys, we don't cry. And I think when people are not comfortable with other people crying, so if you have a boy who is looking down and a girl who is crying, also looking down but crying, who would you go first, right?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Inside of that, I'm not saying that means more fragile for real. It looks like.
How I see that is that it again comes from how we were grown, like raised up, because everybody, even today, like maybe less, but still, if a girl starts crying, it's like, oh, come to daddy, blah blah blah, yeah, everything's gonna be fine. And what she learns is basically that when she cries, she gets the attention, and she gets the love and everything. And a boy, when he cries, they go, oh, come on, you're a big boy, you don't cry, blah blah blah.
Toughen up.
Yeah, and he gets that if he cries, he gets criticized, basically, right? So we subconsciously get it that as girls we need to cry to get love and attention. And guys, boys, they learn that they need to be, tough, and that's how they say, yeah, you're a big boy now, good job, you don't cry. So
Right. And it's
that's
also
how I see that.
yeah, and it's also what you're saying. It just goes right. So equality is every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of their lives, right? And to make the most of your life, it's like you don't suppress what you feel, right? You express it, right? So what you're just saying, it's actually inequality in
Yeah, it is for
in
you
making
guys,
the most. Yeah, exactly, right?
right?
It's also for it's also taking the opportunity of girls, right? All right, she's crying, that's how she deals with it, so let's look into it, what's actually going on, right? Not just pet her and because she can make
Yeah.
what you say, exploiting this. But yeah, definitely more for the guys, because crying is bad. And then when you're going through stuff, or when you're developing, it's like there is this moment when you just wanted to cry and express it out, and you suppress it, and you're like, all right, not how I deal with this, right? You should not, how that's not how you deal. So and then it comes to anger or beating each other and stuff like that. Maybe that's also one of the sources of violence out there, suppressing the feelings. Definitely, I would say. But yeah, and then you don't make the most of your life. You can make the most of your life if, right? There is inequality in how to express feelings. What is okay, like accepted by the society. And yet again, I'm saying it's we are talking about this part of the world that we are living in. It's like maybe in Africa is different, maybe in Asia is different. I don't know, right? Didn't grow up there, so cannot really say much about there. But more or less, it is like that. So yeah, great thing what you just caught on.
I know you're a dad and you're a parent, so how is there? First of all, I know that you don't get the, I don't know how it's called, the leave, when you stay home,
Yeah.
with a kid.
In Slovenia, you have a choice, right? Either mother took it or father took it. So usually mother took it because it's natural. The child needs mother much more than that. I don't have titties. That is the one thing. I can comfort Ty in a certain way, but when he wants to comfort on a Ursha's breast, I can't do that. I could put a bottle filled up with her milk in, but that's like, why would I put a plastic or gum thing into his mouth? It's just like it feels natural. So I would say I don't think that is inequality. I would say, look, that's the nature, right? And that is okay, because the baby was in the mother for 9 months. They have that special connection. Of course, the geyser is important in that, to supporting, to make the environment, circumstances as less stressful as it's possible. So it's really it does matter how you are as a man next to a pregnant woman. And when it comes to parenthood, I would say the most inequality, but not from my experience from people that I know, happens when parents divorce.
Yeah, that's.
And it doesn't and it doesn't happen on a, or there are maybe other inequalities as well. I didn't yet feel it that much, but you can sense it, that all right, you're a man, you're not that important in child's development. You're not that. It's like a baby needs a mother, and mother can do everything, and fathers are like providers, and then if they're there, that's very good. If they're not, it's okay as well, like as long as mother is there. But the most inequality, what I heard from a friend's experience, happens on when you get divorced and you have a child together, or split up, right? Not necessarily divorce, and you have a child together. Institutions are automatically on the woman's side, and it doesn't matter who the man is and what he's doing, he's a pig right away. He's a bastard, he's the bad guy, he's the one. And I know in this case was what happened was like so the lady at the social institution immediately proposed that that the baby, that the child is more with the mom, less with the dad, right? So the dad went obnoxious in his case, and he said, look, if we are not having him equal, I will kill you. He just said that he's my boy as well, so you're not having him more than I do. That because there is no, like, I was never violent to you, I never drink alcohol, right? I never abuse anybody, so there is no terms of why we shouldn't take care of him equal, 1 week each, right? So when they came to the lady, they said we will take care of him equally, and she was like, really? Are you sure? And he went ballistics on her in that moment. He shared, like, he went, yeah, what's wrong with that? It's like, I'm his dad, she's his mother, so, you know, each 1 week, what's the problem with that, right? And then it was like, he really needed to take a stand, because automatically it's not given. At least it wasn't in this case. But I also know by the courts it's like that, right? We can go into, like, women can say I was raped, and in the court everybody will listening, all right, she was really raped, even though she wasn't. There are many cases when that is exploited, when that is like, didn't happen, but it's there because something was wrong, you know, because she didn't like the man. Many cases. Some of them I know. So, you know, it's just like that. Women can, you have, maybe you don't have that much equality in business world. We can say that, right? In business opportunities, like you shared immediately, right? The man comes in and he gets higher position, more paid. But when it comes to this kind of situation, there is something between man and the woman. It's like a woman is more, she's more listened to, that she's really a victim, and man is doing the ugly things. Which also came from the history of probably examples. But we know, you know, with a certain time and evolution, we exploit everything. So some things men are exploiting and some things women are exploiting. I mean, we're all people, so we just look how we can get by best. And sometimes in this world where money is like how much money you have and you need money to survive or to live life, sometimes it's the easiest way. You can make something up, support it with some good, evidence, you know, even though they were made up, but you can make them real these days, anything. So, you know, I know cases of basketball players who were sleeping with random girls. They saved the sperm, they froze the condom, right, after he took it off, and then she put it back in, and he was pregnant, and he needed to pay childcare, even though he never was. He was wearing a protection. So you know, there were cases back in the day. So it's just like, you know. And then she'd say, look, and what can he do about it? They will say, all right, DNA test is positive. What will you do about it then?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if that like really can go through, or it was just an accident happened, because maybe there is scientifically you cannot just froze it and it works. Maybe it needs to be frozen by certain procedure, but I don't know. That is what it will happen. That is in what it's called in a court files, right? It's in there. She came in. He said like, yeah, we did it, but then I went off. She later on admitted that she saved his condom with full of sperm, and she implied it later, and somehow it hooked on. And I don't know, right? But it's just like, you know, all right, you did it, bro. DNA test is positive, and you need to pay childcare, right? Even though you had no intention, and you played it safe, right? Just because you weren't careful enough. What is she doing with the condom? Because you had trust in people, and tell that man to have trust in his love of his life. Well, you know, it's much harder for him to trust the women. You just take out again, right, the opportunity to make the most of their lives. And we can go also in that. That is how we're taking out the opportunities to make most of our lives. Like maybe on a daily level, you go and have conversations, and you tell somebody, no, you can't do this, or you cannot live out of making music, and that is how parents can take most the opportunity from their kids. And in that moment, there is inequality happening. Inside of what we just said, every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of their lives and talent. So Ursha said we can also say there is inequality when it comes to abortion. Usually this is woman's choice. Man does not have much saying in it. Yeah. Exactly. Even though it's supposed to be 50-50, right? You need a man's something to do the abortion. And man is automatically a pig usually in that way, right? Alright, he knocked her up and now she needs to do the abortion because blah, blah, blah. Like she has no thing to do with the sexual intercourse. Like, nope, she was not there. He is a bad guy. And in some cases, rape happens, and that should be a choice, and women are not given that choice. They need to deliver the baby, which is also inequality happening from the other side. So but I want to look into it. Look, it really is like that, right? It is happening there on a daily basis. Every time when somebody comes up with an idea and we shut that person down, either you want to admit it or not, you're causing inequality. But that person still can do it, even though he was shut down by a friend or a parent, right? You can always do it later, develop it later. All right, you can start gymnastics at 40 and play for the Olympics, right? It's just some things when they're missed. But did inequality happen? By this definition, every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of their lives and talents? Yeah, definitely. Are we aware of that we are causing that? Probably not. I would say most definitely not.
Yeah, even parents, they do it, I think, every day with their kids and not even being aware, because obviously they don't want to do it. But yeah, sometimes as a parent, you're in a very bad mood and the kid comes and he's excited about something and you're like, not now, right?
Yeah.
And the kid makes his own story that's, I don't know, something's wrong with him or this is not for him or whatever, and yeah, you take it away.
Yeah.
But
or you're afraid that your child will get hurt.
Yeah.
Like I could say, my wife is brilliant. Like Ursha, she can, whatever I throw at her, she can catch it. So, and it's something that most women that I dealt with in the past couldn't do. It's like they just didn't have this ability, and she never trained anything, which means it's in her. She has a talent for it. So it means like, most of the sports where you need to catch something would work for her. So she would, if she would have the opportunity to develop herself in that, right? But she didn't have that opportunity due to how she was raised up. Now, are her parents bad parents? No. We're not talking about good or bad, right, wrong, right? We're just talking about, did inequality happen to her? Yes. Right? And that's all there is. That's how easy inequality happens. Like that's what we're saying here. We're not judging anybody. Nobody's bad for this. I really want to say that. Look, don't bring morality into it. These podcasts are not about morality, but it's about this is how it is. And then, when you hear about it, what you're gonna do about it, how can you approach it differently, or at least try it out differently, try it out different approach and see what happens then. So yeah, everything's considered in this case. And yeah, I would say that is how simply, right, inequality happens. Even as a teacher, right? I mean, any profession that when you are dealing with people, you can cause inequality, especially if you're in a manager role or in a leadership role or in a taking care of the group role. You can cause it and not even want to cause it. It's just like because you want to do the best, and sometimes what you think is the best, it might be the best for you, but it's not the best for people around you. So yeah, maybe invitation to step into other people's shoes in your head first and ask yourself how would that be for you, and if you are still good with it, then proceed, but if you're not, then try a different approach, because what we discovered today, right, inequality happens in a split second.
Yeah.
So, and you can take opportunity, but there is also, right, inequality in, look, people are born like children in Africa that are working in mines. We know that is happening, right? And you know, most of the chocolate is like taken, the beans of the cocoa beans, they're picked by kids who never ate chocolate, who will never eat chocolate. Not that they didn't eat it so far, but they will never eat chocolate in their life. They're just picking them up because they're enslaved, and they need to do it and provide for their families for that little change that they get, a couple of cents per day. So you know, we know that that is there, but like always, we don't have direct experience. We only heard it, so we don't share from there, and we will not talk about those things that much, but we can mention them, of course. And then you have different inequalities in different parts of the world. You know, some are caused by the regime, some are caused by the you know, in Western civilization, men are the only one who can lead something, women cannot be CEOs, stuff like that, even though that is slowly changing now. But yeah, it's all out there. But from our experiences, I would say this is kind of we can sum it up into, you can really cause inequality every time you think less of other human being, or when you put yourself in front of what other people want. And because I'm a parent and I deal with kids and parents, it's so easy to do it as a parent or somebody who is dealing with kids, children, to be on the side that I don't feel it today, so you say something and you take the opportunity away from somebody. Yeah, all right. I would say, anything you want to add for the end on the equality?
Maybe you covered one side, right? What we can do for others to not taking the opportunity of equality for them, from them. And I would add what we can do for ourselves, because I guess inequality will always happen around us, for us, whatever. And it happens to me all the time. And how I deal with that is, as I said, I take it as an object. Okay, I don't know, it's a cube, whatever. It's here. Oh, it looks like that. And from this side, it looks like that, right? Nothing bad or good or whatever. And if I know what I want in my life and where I want to get, and I have a very strong why I want to do that, this is not important, or it's not a problem for me. It's not something that's going to stop me. I look at it and I can just say, okay, I'm taking it or I'm not taking it. It's like I give you a gift and it would be a bomb in it, and you would know there's a bomb in it. Like, oh, Yanni, look, it's a gift for you. And obviously you're not going to be like, oh, yes, thank you. Now it's going to explode in me. Yay, great, right? You would say, no, thank you. I don't want that gift. And it can be the same with inequality. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add. It's at the end, it's all about us and how we deal with things that comes into our life. And we have to know ourselves first, which is hard sometimes. but that is why every morning when I wake up, I first, because our mind goes right immediately out there, other people, situations, everything, and I bring it back to myself, and I first think of 5 things that I'm really grateful for about myself. And then I start thinking about others and other things. So that's what helps me to stay tuned with myself, and then easily or easier deal with situations like that.
Yeah, and you don't cause inequality. Look, inequality is anything else, right? It starts here and then you spread it. When you think you can do something, you just rob yourself of an opportunity. You just cause inequality for yourself, and then you project that on other people because you can do it. Then of course your child, your friend, or somebody else can do it. So even though if you don't want that intentionally, but it happens, you know. Except with the people that you think they're really good at something, you will, support them all the way. Sorry for that. So with people that you have great listening for, you will support those ones. But the ones that you think are the same level of you or less level than you will shut them down instead. Because you're shutting yourself down. And that is great what you just shared and what you said. Really appreciate for that. So, everybody who watched this, thank you for being with us. We got 4 viewers, 4 likes. That's like 100%. I think that is awesome. Thank you guys. Share the everything, the YouTube channel. Like, let's there be more of us. Me and Ula are sharing, so it's all community work. So you want to have more people to chat with in the chat and more people with us. Share it, subscribe, like, and see you guys next week. Until then, hug somebody and tell them you love them. Bye bye.
Ciao. Bye.
It has been a really, really long day, and I'm trying hard to keep the world away. We gotta keep the fire inside us burning safe. Well, I can see in your eyes, losing you, this I can't deny. I don't need you tonight, 'cause I've used up all my time. Gone away, why don't you stay with me? There's a will, there is a way. 'Cause it's the little things that keep me going on. I need you smiling more. It's the silly stuff that we just can't ignore. It's the little things that keep me going on. I need you smiling more. It's the silly stuff that we just can't ignore. It has been a really, really long day, and I'm trying hard to keep the world away. Songs are brewing, time is moving, am I getting insane? Memories are sipping slowly, I remember the day you were gone with the smoke, never came back. So I light my cigarette and watch it burn to the ash. Little things that keep me going on. I need you smiling more. It's the silly stuff that we just can't ignore. 'Cause it's the little things that keep me going on. I need you smiling more. And it's the silly stuff that we just can't ignore. know. 'Cause it's the little things that keep me going on. I need you smiling more. It's the silly stuff